The initial wave of questions that we had were more related to, should we close our common areas? Now we started to see questions late last week as to whether the association has any obligation to notify residents if, in fact, somebody has COVID-19 and is residing in your association. So let's break down the questions that we've received so far. The first question that we've been hearing a lot is there's gossip going around our association that an owner has COVID-19. Should our association take any action based on the gossip? Well, I've been practicing in the area of representing associations for over 25 years, and I can tell you that most associations have a very healthy gossip chain, and that's even not in pandemic times. So I can imagine that right now, the gossip trail is definitely swirling around many associations, and this is probably something that is coming up as, oh, this person had an appointment yesterday or went to the hospital, and people are concerned about their safety and the safety of others in their community. And so the first thing I would say is associations do not ever act on gossip. The association does not have an obligation to, send out a notice based upon gossip. But what happens when you actually are notified and it's true that you have a resident in your association that has tested positive for COVID-19? And our firm has been handling those questions, and we have seen that pop up already in some of the associations that we're representing. And I can tell you that we have found some very good strategic advice that we can give you when this happens. The first question is, do we have to tell our owners if the board finds out that an owner does have COVID-19? And in the situations that our firm has seen, many of these owners or residents are self-reporting to the association. And so they're notifying the association that I have tested positive and these are the actions that I'm taking. So the question now is, do we have to tell our owners? If we as association board members or the management company come into information regarding an owner testing positive and it's accurate, reliable information, do we have to tell our owners? I think we need to look at this on a case-by-case basis, but my opinion is, yes, you should notify your owners, but we should do it in a way that isn't going to cause alarm and that is going to show that the association is aware of the situation, mention what actions that particular owner is taking to prevent the spread. What we've done for the associations that have contacted us on this is we have created a carefully worded short letter to the community, and hopefully that will answer all of the questions. We also remind other owners and residents that it is not acceptable to harass or engage in any discrimination against somebody who has tested positive for COVID-19. And that kind of, sets the tone for how things are going to be handled. We have not used the owner's name in any of these communications. We think the best way to handle it is through just a letter or email blast to owners explaining what's happened. Do we have to tell our owners who it is? Sometimes we have, received responses from owners after receiving the letter listing that a resident in the community has COVID-19. The next question that they come to us and say is, we demand to know the name of the person, and we have not been providing the name to owners if they are requesting it due to the privacy concerns of the owner or the resident that has COVID-19. A follow-up question on this is sometimes people do know that an owner has COVID-19. Maybe the owner's even told other neighbors that they have it. And now that owner is walking their dog in the common areas, and owners are concerned about that. And we've actually had this situation come up in a question already. And so I think the way to approach it is that the owner is taking precautions to limit the spread. And the owner in this case, was wearing a face mask and gloves and was only outside for a very short period of time to allow the dog to relieve itself. And so, based upon CDC standards and confirmation from the owner's hospital where they're being treated for the COVID-19, that this was okay based upon the information that they had been provided. Can we prohibit an owner who's tested COVID positive from being anywhere on the common areas or even living in our association? The answer to that is no. The owner has some rights to be on the property, and obviously if you live in a high rise, they would have a right to use the elevator, to go to the pharmacy or whatever they need to be going out for. But that owner needs to be taking precautions pursuant to their doctor's instructions to limit the spread to any other owners in the building. And of course, the association needs to be stepping up their cleaning standards so that they are cleaning the common areas and any area that any owner would have contact on the common areas with cleaning solutions that would be consistent with what's being recommended by the CDC. Our board was notified that some residents in our association are harassing the COVID-19 positive resident. Could the association be held liable for not making an effort to stop that harassment? That's actually a really good question. For those of us who are familiar with the Fair Housing Act, we know that, somewhat recently there were some cases that were determined that talked about third-party liability if an association doesn't take action to stop harassment between two residents who might be Hatfields and McCoys, and there might be an element of discrimination based upon being a protected class. So my opinion on this is definitely if the association becomes aware of any harassment of a COVID-19 patient or a COVID-19 positive person in your community, the association should be taking some legal action. I would suggest that if you have that situation occurring in your association, that you reach out to our firm and we will give you advice on the best way to handle that matter. Another question regarding a resident COVID-19 would be, are we required to install hand sanitizer dispensers or wipes on common areas for owners and guests to use? That's a great question. I have seen a very large increase, obviously, even if you're taking food out right now, when you're signing your check to take the food out, you're seeing hand sanitizers there, and we're seeing them in the lobbies of condo buildings, high-rise condo buildings. The question is, are you required to? I would say it's best practices if you can get a hold of any hand sanitizer to have a hand sanitizer station on your property. But I think, as we all know, it's almost impossible to find hand sanitizer right now just in a general grocery store. So I would say make your best efforts to do that. And obviously that's along the same lines of, cleaning to CD standards. You want to make sure that you're doing that to protect your residents. And of course, reminding your residents that it's always best to wash your hands with soap and warm water pursuant to CDC standards. Are we required to do extensive cleaning, disinfecting, or wiping down of common areas by a professional cleaning company specifically designed to, avoid COVID-19? I think right now we should be doing our very best to clean the common areas pursuant to the CDC standards. However, actually going out and finding a professional company that will come in and do a deep clean, it may be really difficult right now. I've had a couple of our associations try to find a company that specializes in this, and there's quite a bit of waiting time for you to get a company like that to come to your association. So I would say do your very best with the cleaning team that you have right now to be sure to be wiping down, disinfecting, and cleaning the common areas that have a lot of use in your association so that we can avoid the spread within your association. I would just like to state in closing our law firm's commitment to helping all associations and management companies, property managers through this difficult time. We're here to help you. We want to help you make good decisions going forward. We're all in this together. We're all struggling. Everybody is having difficulty with this. We anticipate that in the next week or so, we're going to be seeing more questions with owners fighting between each other because of the stay-at-home order. Everybody's going to be home. We hope that doesn't happen, but if it does, we have some suggestions on how you can proceed to keep the peace in your community. And you're all doing a great job. Keep up the good work, and we'll get through this. We always do. And we're here to help you if you need any help in this process. So everybody, have a great day.